Stephen Mason, and welcome to a bit of a little mini tribute to the two Coreys. Now, this is the big box VHS collection, and for years I spent time trying to track these movies down all over the world, from England to New Zealand, from my mum living in England, my dad living in New Zealand. Now, tracking these films down, it was hard going, and I eventually got a really good collection. I moved out, and then I was like, right, I'm ready for the rest of my stuff. What stuff? Mama chucked my stuff away. Can you believe it? So I've spent the better part of last 4 years, maybe now, trying to, since I've got myself financially better, since I stopped smoking, the things you can do when you stop smoking, literally. And buying these stuff and available, and you know, it's big business. You know, Haim, Feldman had a massive following. I've just seen the Truth documentary. They had that massive 80s boom. Then they both went off to do the independent stuff in the early 90s, try to have a revive, rekindle ship. Both fizzled off. Haim went right off the radar. Feldman kept himself a bit straight. They worked together quite a lot on the movies. And this is a collection. Now, what I'm going to try and do is reminisce about where I got the original and where I got this one from. I've put them all spine the wrong way down, so I don't know what I'm going to pick up. I made sure I've done it in this room, mainly because I can open the window up and not have to worry about the lighting. But obviously got a few memorabilia. It's an original Prayer of the Roller Boys video shop poster. I've just recently got in here watches and Last Resort. The Lost Boys posters on there, and there's a picture of me and Corey on the wall there as well. And it's funny, when I was looking, I'll actually show you this picture. I'm going to pull it off the wall. Yeah, it's going to come off. It's going to come off. It's going to take the wallpaper. Fucking glue tack. It's a picture of me and Corey from last year. And my Lost Boys tattoo. Corey Haim's actually photobombed the picture, so that's pretty insane. Let's put that over there. So anyway, let's have a look. Straight down in the box. Wow. For the love of fuck, sorry. Jump cut. Phone started ringing. I'm like, ah, man. I thought I put it on silent. The thing is, it vibrates through the wall. Sorry. Right, let's go back to the first VHS. I've already picked it up. I don't know where the cut was. I do apologise. But it is moving in. Get a bit closer. Got the sun going down. Don't let the sun go down on me. This is not the musical, Stephen. Right, so okay, moving in is Corey Haim's first movie. It's a big box. This is an internet buy. Now, originally, I got this off my long-term ex-girlfriend, Spoonhead, who bought me this and for a birthday present. And when it came, it actually was missing the top end of the tape. She was not impressed. This would have been early 2000s. Now, one of the interesting thing about this, it has appeared on Netflix. It's called Firstborn everywhere else in the world, but it also stars Chris Collette. And when Prayer of the Roller Boys came along years later in the start of the 90s, Griffin and Chris Collette's character, Jesse, no, something like that. They're on about like knowing each other as kids and all that, and it's a really like weird kind of thing, but they did, and it actually comes through the screen as remember when we were kids. And Chris Collette is the older brother in this. I've only ever seen him in The Langoliers, which is a bit of a weird Stephen King one, but yeah, this has got a property of some London videos. It's come all the way from London. So that's a pretty rare one. There you go. Battered and boxed. Not a flip cover. Something's rattling there. Oh yeah, this tape's fucked. I remember that. Alright, it's quite rare. But yeah, I think this was just an eBay buy. It appeared. And it's mine. It's got no mold on. But yeah, moving in. Next up we have Secret Admirer. I don't know how I've just done that. I used to have Murphy's Romance. This is the Corey Haim made Murphy's Romance between this one, but anyway, Secret Admirer. C. Thomas Howell's in this, and Kelly Preston. Corey Haim is only in this very, very briefly. His name's not on the box. Fred Ward's in there. So is Dean Wallace. Dean Wallace Stone at the time as well. Fred Ward, man, from Tremors. But yeah, Secret Admirer. C. Thomas Howell, who was, you know, a big 80s star, but done some weird films. Actually worked again with Corey Feldman later on. There you go, Secret Admirer Virgin tape inside. That was original purchase from Titles Video and Concert. That's where I originally got that from. And again, that is another eBay buy. As I say, some of them come in they normally rock about 30 quid, man. There's some really ridiculous prices on stuff like that. So next up we have never too late. Right, this was about £25, this one, all in postage. I used to have this. This is a flip cover, so never too late. Made in Canada. Corey Haim gets his name above Matt Craven. It's a story about old people living in an old folks home, and the manager is embezzling the money, ripping the money off, and when they try to get money, it's all a bit of a conspiracy. It's a First Independent. First Independence did a lot of Corey Haim movies back in the day. It is a flip cover. So on the front cover, you just get a, you know, aimed at the listen market. Haim would have probably been on good behaviour on this, you know what I mean, because, you know, he was a bit of a renegade, but he comes in as the grandson. It's a nice little supporting role. But yeah, this was originally a Titles purchase. Titles got a lot of stuff in. First Independent, you know, big box there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got a little heart. It's a bit dark film in some places. Next up, wow, this was a steal. Right, No Surrender. Often looks like Sidekick starring Trip Norris, but that's Corey Feldman, looking all impressive. He doesn't know karate. This was 99p off eBay. It appeared on eBay, and I just think it was at the right time, the right place. There was no overbid. It went for 99p and £1.50 delivery. It's extremely rare. New Age Entertainment. There you go, No Surrender. As I say, it's got that very foil gold look to it, foily goldy. It's been a while since I've seen that one actually. It's one I haven't revisited since I got, but it's a bit of a Karate Kid kind of movie going on there. Next up, this was another Titles purchase from back in the day. They had a lot of Corey Haim movies, and this was a gift off the internet from Mr. Smith, which I was over the moon with. Love story about this one is basically it's extremely rare. It's called Anything for Love in America. Casper has it on DVD, refuses to sell it nearly after 15 years of friendship. When I was in York and in the Laserdisc shop, they had Anything for Love, or Just Want the Girls on Laserdisc, which has the American cover, and I was like, oh my god, and it was only like £4. I was like, man, fucking hell. I mean, that's the kind of stories that, you know, finding them, you know, internet buys, you know what I mean. Like, they're on eBay, you check eBay, and again, there you've got them bang, you know, but like finding VHSs is getting harder and harder. Well, I mean, there's got some good stories. There's still a lot of fucking VHSs in front of me down here. But yeah, Just Want the Girls. It's amazing front cover. I'll get a little bit closer, but this just came in the post. This was a present. The guy had 2 copies. He'd been watching us on YouTube and stuff like that, and he just sent us that stuff. Corey Haim, Nicole Eggert had starred twice together with Double O Kid and Blown Away and this. I've always liked the tune jingles in this, but this one's playing off him dressing up as a woman like he did in Fast Getaway, and he basically, in order to get like this girl who wouldn't want Nicole Eggert, he basically dresses up as a girl and befriends her, but then her brother, who would bully him in the first place, starts fancying him. Yeah, so it's a laugh out loud kind of comedy. It's a 2020 Vision one. Yeah, it's not a flip cover. 2020 Vision, you know, stuff like Christian Slater movies back in the day and stuff like that. They were big, but again, early to mid 90s comedy starring Corey Haim. Next up, let's go for a top run. What's this one? Oh. Double O Kid. So, Double O Kid. Hoping maybe it's a comeback role. This movie caught me off guard. This is from Global Video originally. I had to buy this off the internet. I had to bite the bullet, about £20. Very, 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 like, everywhere for Global. They bought a lot of this in. And it was a slap bang all out there. Corey Haim, Bridget Nelson, Nicole Eggert is back in this. John Ray Davis, who is the guy from Indiana Jones. It has one of the most bizarre fucking death scenes you've ever seen. As he's sitting in a car playing a video game, and out of nowhere, when he crashes, he gets hurt, and then next thing you know, the car flips upside down. You're like, what the fuck? But yeah, this was you just seen it everywhere. But I remember, like, so back in, like, you know, we're talking like late 90s, early 90s, sorry, mid 90s, end of the 2000s. And you didn't have the internet, you didn't have IMDb on your phone, you had, you know what I mean, you went to the library and that, was it the Horrocks or the Hallmarks or whatever the fuck it was, the big book, you know, and like, access to the internet, you know what I mean, dialing up with your phone connection, dee. you know, who's in the movies, whose room is, stuff like that. So, you know, you often would get a surprise when you walk in, and like that's one where it would be sitting on the fucking shelf, and you go along and look at him, and Haim's rocking bleached blonde hair, and you think, fucking hell, it's a Corey Haim movie. Must have won. Beryl, can I buy this, please? But yeah, artwork's pretty good. He's got a super soaker on it. It's you know what I mean, the 00 kid. Haim at the time's not really a kid, but again, it was after like License to Drive and Fast Getaway and all that, and it just missed a beat really. It's a bit weird. Seth Green's in it when he was really young as well. Next up, another top shelf. Oh, 3 Nicole Eggerts in a row. Blown Away. So this has got this orange, like 90s orange cover here. Again, 2020 vision. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Part of the deal where they would do some movies together after a couple of years. It is a flip cover. And there's the alternative. The black box. Nicole Eggert down the side. It's pretty much a borderline porno. I've done a review about this a few times. I've done a podcast for this as well. I'm going to check that out. Got a good scar. It's all about betrayal and murder. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman playing brothers. It looks like it's been filmed on a ski resort when it's been shut down for the winter and stuff like that. And you know, it's just real sex scenes between Corey Haim and Nicole Eggert. This was an Amazon purchase. Believe it or not, I was just like, no picture, blind buy. I think it was $4.99. Bought it. Now I do have Blown Away on multiple different versions of VHS. I've got a German version on small box, but yeah, to finally get that back in my collection. That was another Titles one. So Titles, you know, supplied a lot of them back in the day. Right, next up, Legion's been looking at us for a while, so there's Legion. I can never remember if Legion or Stormtrooper. I think it's Stormtrooper. But Legion's the one set in space. It's a Corey Feldman movie. Again, this one was originally from Global, sitting on the shelf, and you pick it up and you go, fucking hell, Corey Feldman's in it. You're like, whoa, gotta rent that, find out what's going on there. An Unseen Predator. Okay, Dirty Dozen meets the Predator in Deep Space Terror. I think Feldman just sees on the back of the box there. He's barely in it. It's sort of an mid-supporting role, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of fucking weird. It looks like a moon, like blended with a devil face. Flying tape. Legion. Very like almost like Millennium Films when they first started coming out with the VHS, where you can feel like the cheapness of the plastic. I mean, some VHSs from like the mid 80s and that, you could probably hit somebody in the head and kill them with it. That's very light, an 18. You'll probably get loads of trailers. And not uncommon as well for films like that to get the trailer of the fucking film on the actual film. You think, why is the trailer on? But again, it's what films did back then. But yeah, that was an eBay one actually. Next up, oh, quite a new one. Never knew this existed. This is an eBay buy. You're talking about £15 for this one. Round Trip to Heaven. It reunites Zach Gallion and Corey Feldman from the Gremlins. Bonzo the Clown's in it. It was quite funky. 2020 vision. Round Trip to Heaven. Feldman and Zach. You know, they should have really slapped the Gremlins cast reunite. Again, 2020 vision. Not a flip cover. You would kind of think 2020 would do that, but they've never have. But yeah, never had that in my original collection. Didn't even know it exists. Again, you go down when you get IMDb and you go down in a lot of these movies. For example, Universal Groove for Haim, or Shooter on the Side, or you look at Feldman ones and you look at like you just never heard of them. But sometimes they get different names. But never knew that one existed. Next up is Watchers, big box. Wow. So this one's been haggard and battered. Corey Haim Watchers. Now the big poster I've got. I'll be talking about Watchers again in a minute, but I think the front cover of that is really disappointing. It just looks like a bland horror movie, but it's gone for the horror element. Michael Ironside, Corey Haim. Corey Haim gets his name above from the novel by Dean R. Koontz. It started as a secret experiment. It ended in a new breed of terror. Guildhall video brand all the way around the bottom of it. Haggard Watchers. Recently got this on Laserdisc as well, which has a really funky cover, but it literally it's got the Abomination on the back and the Abomination on the front. It does not like hide what it is. So yeah, it's an old minging dirty tab. Never had that in my original collection. Had a small box of it. But yeah. Next up, License to Drive, big box VHS. One of the most sought after movies when I was young. Only had this originally on buy, and I actually bought it through Blockbusters. I think it's the only one I actually got from Blockbusters. The guy came along, just fucking pulled out this book, went down, you know, the like, catalogues. I mean, honest to God, if anyone remembers Blockbusters in concert, it wasn't fucking much bigger in this fucking room. But yeah, I think it was about £15 for the back catalogue tape. A lot of love and a lot of stories about that. Has been a tribute video to it when Casper picked us up when I was late for work and my car broke. We actually did it in his car, which was quite funky. No Heather Graham's name on that, which is now on the DVDs. But straight after the Lost Boys, they made this, and this was like literally, they were two Coreys at that point. So I said, I had a sticker on there, I think. License to Drive, CBS Fox branded inside, which is absolutely fucking awesome as well. Next up, Die Goonies. That's right, Die motherfucking Goonies. I don't have a big box of the Goonies yet. Haven't been able to track one down at a decent price. Some people have really like, fucking, just hipsters, like fucking hipsters. Like there's loads of weird groups on Facebook and stuff like that, and the average price for stuff. But this was really cool. It's called Die Goonies. It's got some fucking really awesome artwork where you can see the full picture. Normally it's cropped about there, and that's the picture you get on the Goonies, unless you get the American one where they're looking out to the ship and the seas. Die Goonies, the Goonies. I just think it's class. It's called Die Goonies. Big box, squidgy box, Warner Brothers, which is really cool. It doesn't have an age certificate on it as well, so I was really happy about this when it came in. It's a pro tag. It's, you know what I mean, it's X rental from Germany, which is really cool. Warner Brothers branded inside. The tape, I mean, look at that, Die Goonies. But that tape, you could kill somebody with that tape. And it just when it came, I think that was a tenner posted, and it actually came with a novelisation of it. And there was actually two of them together, so they weren't down here somewhere. We'll get that in a minute. Next up, let's clear out this bottom. Illegal Entry. So here's a Guild home video again, Corey Feldman. I had this in my original collection. It's another eBay, and then I got it again off eBay. Not rare, quite cheap. Feldman putting on the proper creep. He's got his hair cut really short, and he's just about stalking a girl and stuff like that. Kind of like really creepy one. It's been quite a while since I've seen it. But like the thing is, when Feldman dials in the psychopath, going all the way back to like Friday the 13th and stuff like that, he can really do it. He just hasn't like, he hasn't had that. I would like to see Tarantino get him in a movie and just ground him to fuck. But again, he's happy enough for sport. I mean, you know what I mean. He's out there doing his all kinds of stuff. But it'd be great to see him in a really solid movie. Fox Guild, Home and Entertainment, Illegal Entry, not a flip cover. Red box, slaps his name right across the top. Again, kind of film you would see in the mid-90s. Slap it on the shelf like that and you would give it a big little watch. Next up, the Gremlins. Been sitting there for a while. Glad to get a hold of that. Thanks to Naka Jan for that one. It was my birthday present. That's Brits man, by the way. It took us a while to get this. It actually came with a second one, and I got two, so I ended up with two versions of the second one, and I sent that down to Mr. Jones down south because he was after one. The 15, obviously Gremlins is notoriously known for being one of the original 15s, or the M rating. It never made any sense. Like, we're here ripping out the box, and now they have their back, but the they back for some reason stuck on the DVD for ages and lost the classic of Billy holding the box and Gizmo just creeping out, which I longed to have it. I mean, it ended up on the back of the steelbook, but one home video, just like the Die Goonies there, you know, box it in, slap all the artwork, goes around. It's got a big synopsis of the movie. There is a Gremlins in the other room, which has comedy spelt wrong. I did a Gremlins video at Christmas if you want to see my entire Gremlins collection. But yeah, mouldy as fuck. It's a good job. I've got multiple versions of it. That's one thing I did have a bit of a rant about when it came. But someone picked this up, a very similar copy to it, when I was in New Zealand, and it was like 50 pence in a charity shop, and I was like, motherfucker. But yeah, not a flip cover yet, but you've got to have the Gremlins. Next up, Oh What a Night. Right, okay, so this is another Titles original I had. Again, you're walking along, and you know, like, the clerk's not going to know behind the shop. They're just working there to pay the benefits and stuff like that. I'm not being funny, but like there was some people back in the day who worked in video shops who fucking knew what they were talking about. Then there was some people like didn't know who Al Pacino was, and you're like, you what? But you would be walking on the computers, you know, the proper Commodore 64s. So obviously you're walking along and that's one you would see on the shelf. Haim's face isn't very standard out. It's faded blue. Robbie Coltrane's in this. She's been in quite a lot of movies. It's set in the I want to say the fucking 50s or the 60s, 55. So it's set in 55. Oh What a Night, obviously the song is popular as well. Sort of just a reminisce. But again, this was more of a dial back, I think, to like Haim from like the likes of Lucas and all that, where it was sort of, you know what I mean. But again, these sex pests an older woman, like it's quite creepy. Being ripped up, red box inside though. But yeah, got that on DVD as well. But yeah, it was original titles. That's another eBay. Gremlins was an eBay, right, this bad boy. This was a present, so I don't know where this came from. I originally got this, there used to be a corner shop. It's quite a funny story. The guy was called Eric. And you go in, you used to take 2 tapes and you could trade tapes, you know what I mean? He had books and that. It's appeared on a few of my videos. It's long been gone now. And then I seen Eric, like for 10 years I hadn't seen him. And he was in the shop. He was talking about his thing. He was talking about being in Vietnam and running across. And next thing you know, a spider bit his balls and his balls exploded. I was like, you what? True story. I actually seen him 2 weeks ago before this lockdown thing happened. And I was like, what the fuck, Eric? So anyway, but he couldn't tell me. But then when I was a kid, there'd be 2 stages. So you'd have that, would be where the VHS were, and then there was a step up shelf, and then he had loads of porn. So it was always like dead awkward. Like, alright, loads of porn. But he had kept an eye out, and he had actually kept that back, and he's like, oh yeah, Silver Bullet came in, and Silver Bullet, I've done the podcast for it. I've got the Laserdisc DVDs and stuff. It's a brilliant film. I've got a horror sticker stuck on it. So that was from Eric's originally. Canon tape, drawn front cover. This movie needs remaking, but it also needs releasing properly. It's out in Germany on Blu-ray. Kazakh, it's Stephen King. It has that Stand By Me finesse. Haim plays a kid in a wheelchair along with Gary Busey. Canon tape all the way around. Really retro 80s, 18s and stuff like that. But no, it's a class film. Absolutely class. That was it. Right, Ski Patrol. And that Ski Patrol Snowboard Academy is next. Another eBay, but this was £20 buy, day of release for titles. So came in, another film just sitting on the top of the shelf. That's new. Corey Haim, Jim Varley, Bridget Mason. I was like, can I buy that? Well, you have to pay the like dealer price. So it's 20 quid brand new. Got it on DVD. Picked it up on eBay. Not bad, about £7 I think it was. The Avalanche. It's basically, you know, trying to have a spoof. It really falls flat. Ooh, it's him. Many thanks. I'm selling my 10,000 VHS collection. Searcher 69. He sold me quite a few of his films. Not a flip cover, but he was a really good dealer. Him actually, he actually bought a lot of stuff. Never seen it out and about anywhere else. Next up, Summer Vacation. Right, okay, so while Haim was off snowboarding, Feldman was hanging around making a ski one. Previously viewed tape, $2.88. What kind of fucking price is that, man? Not to mass produce it as well. I mean, fair enough, it was just a fucking sticker. This is Meatballs 4, Bill Murray's movie. First independent released it. It's been a bit sun bleached as well, so it's been heavily probably rented. Corey Feldman, Sarah Douglas, coming soon. Ricocheted. Comedy tape, Summer Vacation. As I say, cool. It's not a flip cover. Never had that in my original collection, but it was just another eBay buy. Again, it's few and far between when they pop up on eBay. It's either someone's selling collections separately or they all just disappear. Last of the bottom pile, was still about fucking 10 tapes left. I've got Voodoo. Actually, I have the VHS video poster up there, but you can't see it off camera. Voodoo, never knew it was released on DVD. I've got this on VCD and all kinds of weird shit. Back end of last year. I think someone was a Voodoo collector and then just started selling on eBay, and I was just like, well, I'll buy that. Yep, I'll definitely buy that. And yeah, so Feldman is nowhere seen on the front cover, unlike the American, when he's normally chopped in at the eye and his name's branded right across the top. It says Corey Feldman right there on the small of the box. So again, it looks like a standard horror film. You pick it up. The thing is, Feldman's not even on the back of the box except for a very, very small picture. But yeah, just Voodoo going down. It's in first independent as well, so like the people who ran First Independent back in the day have totally. So we've had Voodoo, last Summer Vacation. We've had Never Too Late so far. So you can see the distribution coming up because the next one's First Independent as well, and it's Dream a Little Dream 2. Right, so this is another movie that titles got in back in the day, sitting on the shelf, another 20 quid purchase straight out the bat. Dream a Little Dream. I'll get to Dream a Little Dream in a bit, but to see it on the shelf, I knew they'd made it. Part of the picture deal I was talking about with Blown Away. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman reunite of one of the misfire movies of the 80s. I would say misfire. The film was batshit crazy. And the sequel's all about wearing the sunglasses and body swapping and stuff like that. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, Dream a Little Dream 2. Now, is this a flip cover? No, it's not. But it's a 12. Entertainment and video. Again, another eBay buy. It popped up, nabbed it straight away. Next up at the top, right, watches. Right. So this has had its own little videos a couple of times. It's going to appear all over my channel next month. This video, going back to the day when you couldn't find these movies, when I walked into Video Village back in the day in New Zealand, it was just sitting on the bottom shelf right there. And that was the rarest one. So like when my mum started chucked all this stuff away, like stuff like this was in there. I brought it all the way back from New Zealand, and I worked my arse off to like save enough pocket money back in the day and then get the bus to Nelson. It's quite a long bus drive, but yeah, watches. Now Corey Haim slapped his face on the front cover. No reveal of the box like Munster, and there's no Munster on the back. That's the fucking cover it should have been. That's what the DVD is now over in the UK. I just think the big box original had a fucking bitchin' ass thing going there. So watches. I do have another version of watches in this pile actually, but I also just Brittany's just bought us a Dream Machine. I'll get a Dream Machine in a bit as well from over there. Next up, as I'm ranting away, it's the other Goonies I was telling you about. There we go. This is the American one, big box one. Again, what I was talking about before, cropped right in on the front cover. Standard back and all that. Steven Spielberg presents. Well, check that fucking tape out, man. Just like bog standard. The Goonies. Die Goonies. Next up, right, we'll leave that to last. Next up, it's the other copy of watches. This is a German import, and that is the nicest cover ever for watches. That is absolutely gold. It appeared on eBay. I seen it on Facebook, and then it appeared on eBay. Obviously, never had my original collection. I bought it from New Zealand. That's the only way I had it, and that is just so nice. It's weird because it's German. It's just got watches written on it, but then the cover doesn't even come out. It's all stuck to the box. But it's fucking stunning, that artwork. Right, next up there's another German one here. It's Dream Machine, but it's called the Teen Dream Machine in Germany. The Porsche has been turned to red. It's silver in the movie. Corey Haim. Now again with Dream Machine, going to New Zealand, seeing it on the shelf was the first time I ever physically seen it. And I had it in my original collection. It was an eBay buy. That was an eBay buy. It just popped up. And it's like, the thing is, when you start buying these ones, you're talking, it's weird, because you'll be like, alright, it'll be like £14 and then something like £14 postage. And I hummed and hawed a few times, Prayer the Roller Boys was on there and stuff like that. But when you're going on every month, normally what happened to us was I was quit smoking. I would end up like a little bit of cash to spend at the end of the month. So I wasn't overspending on anything. And as I say, like, you would have like one would creep up, and sometimes another one would creep up, but then you would get to like getting these German ones. But I always found it interesting that was Teen Dream Machine, because this one's Dream Machine. Now this one came with Double O Kid. Double O Kid, The Burbs and Jury Duty is what I bought as a bulk buy. But yeah, there we go, Dream Machine. The car is silver. Perfect girl, perfect murder, perfect almost. It's not the perfect girl because the girl in the movie he's in love with has black hair, like black brown hair, not blonde hair. Playing on the fact that Corey Haim was in Dream Machine and License to Drive, and it was branded as a laugh out loud comedy. It's fucking not. It's quite a dark movie. It almost feels a bit like when Lucas went to university as well, because there's loads of fraternity stuff in that. Again, heavily trailered on Fast Getaway or Pray the Roller was back in the day. It's the first independent as well. Next up, I never thought I would own this. Again, this is the Dream a Little Dream. This was bought originally from a small little VHS shop in Mochuwega. I never won me man bloody chucked out. I have about 3 different versions of VHS. £25, like fucking ultimate rare. It's Vastron Video International Locus Group. Really fucking old, really old. 15 on all that, but yeah, the film is batshit fucking crazy. The soundtrack packs REM. The soundtrack's amazing. The cast, but then just weird. Body swapping and shit, but which is fucking mental though. That is how cool Britney is. Not only did Corey Feldman wish me happy birthday last year, which was like, fucking hell, got like a message off Meredith Sauter. I also say her name right, and she was wishing us happy birthday, and I was just like there's a cast of The Dream a Little Dream wishing me a bloody birthday like years later. It's just fucking insane. Right, next up, Fever Lake. Just recently released a podcast of this, and I just recently got the Japanese version of this, but it's a small box, so yeah. There you go, Fever Lake. Again, walking along global, you would see that on the shelf. This is where it's originally from. Takes a shine in, mixes it with Friday the 13th, and that's what you get. Him's on the front cover twice, you know, and his character's on there twice because the kid's on there. He's got the green eyes. It's Corey Haim, Bo Hopkins, Mario Lopez. He's from Saved by the Bell. Batshit crazy film. There's a lot of stuff on the channel there. Next up, we only have a few left now, is Prayer of the Roller Boys. Now, I've been searching for another copy of Prayer of the Roller Boys because this has got they've photocopied the front cover, right? But then the sticker's different, so it's an original rental. But obviously the cover's been missing, so I don't know. Proud to have this. Got it in multiple versions. Korean. There's a poster though. To say tag it and bag it. I'm gonna have to look on eBay after this, like, see if we can get another one. Let him have it. First independent, fully rewound. But yeah, it's been a fully rental video, but the cover just looks. To be honest with you, I'll shut the fuck up. It's an original cover. It's just fucking trash. It generally looks like a photocopy, but it's not. So yeah, Prayer of the Roller Boys. I always remember getting this from Titles, right? Because I always remember finding it on the bottom shelf after renting the movie for ages. It's one of my favourite Corey Haim movies. It's a product of the time. The soundtrack is amazing. I've just recently bought King's Swamp Vinyl. Because them and 9 Inch Nails are heavily played through, definitely the trailer as well. The song's called Blown Away. Right, where we go next? The Burbs. The Burbs came along with Double O Kid. X rental, $3.99. Fucking love the Burbs. I have the poster in the other room. It's fucking amazing. £1 per night, big box. Corey Feldman movie, Tom Hanks. Please rewind the tape. To say it's nice. I don't know the guy I bought these all off. Obviously owned a video shop, but the Burbs. It's a shame that HorrorCon's been postponed because Joe Dante was scheduled to be one of the main guests along with Zach Gallion as well. Right, next up, Demolition University. The sequel to Demolition High, which has never seen the light of day on DVD over here. Now check this out. This was one that I got from Global, right? See it? Fucking hell, there's a neighbour on the roof. Oh yeah. Awkward. It's an old lady like looking across. They've got like a balcony on theirs. Right, anyway. Demolition University. It's a sequel. Doesn't really say it's a sequel. Corey Haim's name's completely missing from the top. Corey Haim, there's enough space, it almost just like they forgot to put it. Corey Haim, that's Corey Haim, put his name on the box. Green cover though, always liked it, pretty funky. Again, this is a one from Thanks to Beryl. Warner Brothers. Slapped logo on top of it, you know, so it's a Warner Brothers release. Corey Haim's Misfire is an Under Siege kind of franchise, you know. But yeah. Sorry, I'm not doing any jump cuts except for the fucking phone ringing. And you get these all wiped down and dust down. So this is part of like my showcase collections, you know. All this lockdown, going around cleaning everything, reminiscing, and just trying to theme a few things. So next up we've got Without Malice, which this video, this hasn't turned up yet. Got an unboxing this, fucking hell, right. So this DVD I had in the original collection, and it's just so rare. You type in Without Malice, you never see it. And when we were in Auckland, I was sitting in the airport and that appeared on eBay, and I think, what the fuck? Like, literally, I have to say, And we were quite tired, and we spent all day, and we're just waiting to get on I think the flight was 17.5 hours, and like I remember looking across at Brittany, and like, because Brittany's got the eBay login, and I remember bugging her a bit, and I didn't want to bug her too much because everyone was tired, and I was just, for the love of fuck, will you buy this right now? It was £15. I think it was £14 postage. It just got here about a week ago, which needed 5 weeks to get here. Yeah, that's just, to me, rare as fuck. I thought it is literally, out of all these, probably the last, if someone wants me to correct me on this, but the last Corey Haim big box release. It's fucking gotta be. Film set in Canada, when they shoot somebody thinking it's a deer, and it's all about don't tell them and all that. Say without malice. It's on YouTube if someone wants to watch it. Pristine tape. It doesn't even look like it's ever been fucking really watched. Like, fucking over the moon for that to be in the collection. Right, there is 5 left. 5 left. So next up, Fast Getaway. Big box. Been chasing this for ages. Bought this from the Searcher. 69. Only difference between the big and the little box is simply a roof rock is missing. So I had this. This is another Titles one. So you walk in the Titles and you used to like look around and you go. Mainly the one that set it off was Scuba School, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Fucking hell, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. I mean, the reason you know Corey Feldman more as a kid, I went to pictures to see the Gremlins. I definitely shouldn't have. I wouldn't have been old enough, but you know what I mean. Gremlins had a weird certificate. Gremlins. Stand By Me. The Lost Boys. The Goonies. He's the voice of Donatello. So it's like, yeah, Corey Feldman's like, if you grew up in the 80s, he was everywhere, you know. So you look around and you would see stuff like, I remember sitting like in this corner of the video shop and you look and you go, Blown Away, Fast Getaway 2, spoiler alert. And just everywhere you look, there'll be another fucking movie of them. There was just that fucking popular. But yeah, Fast Getaway deserves a Blu-ray, DVD or Blu-ray release. Chuck the two of them together. It's a good action film. It just miscued, really. You're right guy in the right place. It's all about robbing banks and going on the run. First independent again. This was probably the one where you would get Corey Haim actually hosting the trailers to his movies, because he was that popular at the time. You know, they've put in there. So there was a sequel called Fast Getaway 2, and there's 2 of these for reasons. So that one there. So he never at one point falls from massive height. The most he falls is over someone's back garden. So yeah, just him falling. It's a flip cover, but this is the time code one, which is pretty awesome to own. And that is the original rental one, where you've got, you know, it's not a very good picture of him on the top there. It doesn't look like normal Corey Haim look. But yeah. It's not as bad as Fever Lake. Has anyone got Amazon Prime? Have a look at Fever Lake on there. It's the picture from the back of License to Drive, and someone's made Corey Haim look like a zombie. It's like, what the fuck? But yeah, this is just seen there before. It's a lovely flip cover. The love of flip covers. But yeah, this was another Titles one originally. Just fucking. Don't know, fuck these up. It's 12 as well. Yeah. Right, so there's only 2 more. Hope you've enjoyed this. But the last one of this doesn't have a tape, where it's Licensed to Drive from New Zealand. Check out the new show, Land of the Long Like White Cloud, to find out where this came from. It doesn't have a tape, but it's got a fucking bitchin' cover, man. Right, I'll see you in the outtakes for the final one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Corey fucking Feldman.
Surprised you guys know rock and roll. That's a classic. You know when you did. Oh, look at that.
I know, that's amazing.
Now that's the great thing about coming to Europe. You have real movies.
That's right. Got to meet Corey last year. Worked with him a little bit. Filmed some good funny bits with him. Got my Lost Boys poster signed. I got my birthday is just here as well. Birthday just signed. If you've never heard of that, that is a fucking amazing movie. I will never forget sitting there filming the Q&A, and you got all these people like lying there, and I'm sitting right at the corner. We've got the shot down, you know what I mean? And people are asking questions, and it's going to be the obvious, isn't it? The Goonies, the Gremlins, it's a horror convention, Friday the 13th. And you know, he's just answering them, stand by me. And this guy next to us says, and the guy's like, what's it like being the voice of Slash and Donatello? Or something along like that. And Corey Feldman's just like, what? And he answers it, but at the same time, Brittany's like this. And then they ask Brittany, and Brittany goes, can you tell, like, you know about meeting him earlier? And when he signed the birthday, he was just like, oh my god, look at that, and got a high five off Courtney and stuff like that, and you know, he's proud of the movie. He went on this fucking 15-minute rant about the birthday. Now, if you check out the review for the birthday, which is on the channel, you can see that whole incident like play itself out. So last but not least, when I had all this stuff, I had majority of this, what to get Feldman to sign when it comes to a VHS. A lot of people are going to think the Goonies. Now, looking along here on a big box, I was just like, right, you know, a lot of these are internet buys, purchase, but one day I got up, I'd been out, probably Condog, hanging off buskers, did my little trip around concert, and I got to this charity shop and they've got VHSs, and I just looked at them and I was like, right, okay, and now, you know, like, now to shout about, because I like doing retro VHS. And I went full T, and then the bottom shelf, right on the bottom corner, right down there, very last shelf, was Edge of Honor. It's a squidgy box. I was fucking blown away by this. It's a squidgy box, and that's what I've got Feldman to sign. So it's signed by Corey Feldman right across his mush. I don't think he likes this movie. I quite like it. Me and Brittany both done the podcast, Edge of Honor, but that's has got an original story like that, where you find these tapes, especially now, you know what I mean? So that's, to me, is awesome, and it's awesome just to have Feldman in the show as well. But I wasn't going to get some of that, because I'm obviously, unfortunately, never going to meet Corey Haim or get Corey Haim to sign anything, even though I was 5 minutes down the road from when he died in LA, which was scary looking back to think. So anyway, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. I am 36-year-olds. They are 36 big box VHSs. I've been Stephen Monkey Mason. I will return with a small box collection. There's not many of them. It will not be that long. And I'll do the DVD collection as well. As everyone stays safe. Locked down again. Just showcasing and having a good laugh. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now. I was bound to forget one. You know, like I thought I had the more group to get the obvious one. The most obvious. The Lost Boys. And this is like one of my rarest, most favourites. That's the post I was talking about before. But yeah, the Lost Boys big box VHS, signed by Kiefer fucking Sutherland. How did I forget about that? You know what I mean? It's like whoops. But yeah, the classic artwork, the big box, the holy grail for a lot of Lost Boys fans is, you know, we get the red cover now almost. But yeah, Stephen, all the best. Kiefer Sutherland, David. Oh, how did I forget that? Yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.
And now, the end is here.